The Souls games are known for their publishing combat and tough boss battles. The Souls-like genre too is not for the faint-hearted. Are you one of those players who love a challenge? If easy and laid-back games are unable to satisfy your gaming desires, then continue watching our 10 best Souls-like games for some awesome recommendations. Neo. When it comes to games like Souls, Neo is often loved to many Soul fans. Neo is a challenging game that requires players to be well adept and swift at using their swords. Players need to be sharp to take down many difficult in-game bosses in rapid-paced combat. The gameplay is tough but is sure to satisfy many Soul fans that love publishing themselves. Moreover, players can take on the role of ninja to beat many traditional Japanese bosses, including creatures from Japanese folk tales and other notable samurai and ninjas. If you are a Sekiro fan, Neo is definitely a must-try game for you. Code Vein. If you are an anime fan and an absolute sucker for Soul games, then Code Vein is one game you should try out. Imagine the Souls world in an anime style, Code Vein that would give you that experience. The game has similar mechanics to a Souls game, such as the missile planets that are scattered throughout the world. Players can restore their health and level up at these planets. It is similar to bonfires found in Soul games. Furthermore, players would also be required to observe the enemy's attack pattern to take it down effectively, and often it would take many tries. Just like an average Soul game, many bosses can be challenging and nuisance to beat. However, Soulsborne fans with their patience and willpower would love to rise to the challenge. The Surge. The Surge is another great Souls-like game, especially if you like cyber and techno graphics. If you want a challenging game with a lot of tough bosses, you should definitely try Surge out. The combat is very aggressive and fast-paced, so often a lot of critics compare it with Bloodborne. While the setting and game environment is totally different from what you would expect from a Souls game, the combat is very similar, as players would be required to face many punishing bosses throughout the game. Remnant from the Ashes. Many critics have criticized Remnant as Souls-like despite it being a third-person shooting game. A lot of fans on Reddit often call it a Dark Souls game but with guns. The game has many similar features to Dark Souls, including resting at points and similar combat. Players would be required to dodge during combat, and it has a similar bar like every Souls game. Players would often be required to memorize the enemy movesets to take them down. You would often be required to improve your gear and weapons as well. While the overall game is not difficult as a Soul game, its environment, setting and gameplay would surely give you a great experience. Ashen. Ashen is probably one of the games that resembles Souls the most. Many fans claim it to be the most ambitious Souls-like game and a literal clone of the Dark Souls series. One thing that stands out the most in Ashen are its spectacular aesthetics and beautiful visuals are its main appeal. Overall, the game has similar and way identical mechanics to Dark Souls, making its way into our list. Some of the bosses in the game are challenging, and Souls fans who love a challenge are sure to enjoy this hardcore game. Mortal Shell. Mortal Shell is another great Souls-like game to try out. It is the best known for the resemblance of the atmosphere with the Dark Souls games. Furthermore, like Souls games, players would be required to be grateful and strategize accordingly in combat. The boss battles are challenging with their distinctive movesets. They are sure to give you a Souls-like experience. Mortal Shells brings up the game difficulty up a notch, as health restoring items are very limited in the game. Unlike Souls game, save points would not automatically refill your health. This punishing game is certainly worth a try if you love Souls-like games. Blasphemous. Blasphemous is a 2D Souls-like game well known for its challenging bosses. The game features similar mechanics to Dark Souls, as it would require players to dodge and parry during a combat. The game also features bile flasks, which are similar to Estus flasks that players can restore at pre-due altars. Blasphemous also features a narrative approach similar to Souls-like games. To learn about the game lore, players would be required to interact with NPCs found across the game. For Souls fans, this game seems like a perfect choice. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. If you like Sekiro from the Souls franchise, you will certainly love Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. The game has similar mechanics to the Souls game, such as you would be required to retrieve your lost XP if you die during the game. The bosses have specific move patterns that players might need to memorize before taking them down. The game's combat is very similar to Sekiro, particularly when it comes to blocking opponents' attack. Moreover, players can also restore their HP in a way similar to other Souls-like games. Fans of Star Wars franchise are sure to love this game with its compelling story and great combat. Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is one of the darkest games in the video games industry. It's considered one of the greatest 2D Souls-like games. The game has its own well-defined elements but shares a few similarities with the Souls-like games. For instance, the enemies stay dead unless you rest. When you die, you would be required to regain your souls. Furthermore, the dark atmosphere is sure to appeal the Dark Souls fans. Lord of the Fallen. And for the final game in the list, we are looking at the title that started the genre of Souls-like games. The game is often called clone of Dark Souls by the fans. While the game is often considered inferior to Dark Souls, it is still considered a decent title by many fans. Like Dark Souls, the game features many brutal bosses with their distinct moveset patterns. However, many fans claim that the game is much less punishing than Dark Souls. The combat is slower and more beginner friendly. If you are new to Dark Souls but prefer a much easier game, then the Lord of Fallen might be the perfect choice for you. That's all for our list of best Souls-like games. What's your favorite Souls-like game? Let us know in the comment below. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Till then, ciao.